people think babies are made.
Here we see two hormonal teenagers in the natural habitat. We can see from the way they're acting that they're each other's baes.
Oh!
Nice tags. Do you work out?
Why, yes. Yes, I do. Hey, I got a question.
Yeah.
Is your left eye okay?
Yeah, why?
Because you've been looking right all day, shawty.
Oh, my.
So, your place or mine?
You tell me, big boy.
Ooh.
Crikey! Here we see the male and female freaking out. It looks like the female's been impregnated by the male. Will he become the real MVP and pay child support, or will he leave her for a side bae?
Okay.
How did this happen?
We'll tell you how it happened. It all starts with ovulation, which is when a mature female sex cell called an egg is released from the ovaries and begins its way down the uterine tube, also known as the fallopian tube, and comes into contact with the sperm, the male mature sex cell.
This stage is when the egg and sperm become a zygote, which is a fertilized egg. It then begins to descend through the uterine tubes and undergoes rapid cell divisions called cleavage. Afterwards, it becomes a secondary oocyte, which is what is produced by division of a primary oocyte in the first meiotic division. The next step is the four-cell stage, which takes place on the second day.
By the third day, it becomes a marula, which looks like a raspberry and has 16 cells.
By the fourth day, it becomes an early blastocyst, which has around 100 cells and hollows out and fills with fluid to become a blastocyst with a blastocystic cavity.
By the seventh day, the blastocyst is implanted in the uterus, which is the hollow pelvic organ of the female reproductive system that functions to receive, retain, and nourish a fertilized egg. The egg is embedded into the endometrium, which is a part of the uterus. It consists of a sphere of trophoblast cell and an eccentric cell cluster called the inner cell mass. The blastocyst has two important areas: the trophoblast, which forms the large fluid-filled sphere, and the inner cell blast, which is a small cluster of cells on one side. After it is securely implanted, the trophoblast develops elaborate projections called chronic villi, which when combined with the uterus forms the placenta. The placenta is the temporary organ that provides nutrients and oxygen to the developing fetus. The fetus is the unborn young of a human. The amnion and the placenta are attached to the fetus by an umbilical cord, which is a structure that contains arteries and veins. After the zygote has developed further, it begins to be surrounded by the amniotic fluid, which is the fetal membrane that forms a fluid-filled sac around the embryo. At the same time, the ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm are also forming. The ectoderm gives rise to the nervous system and epidermis of skin. The endoderm forms mucosae and associated glands. The mesoderm is everything else.
Oh, so that's how it happens.
At this point, you're only about 5 weeks. At the end of 9 months, you'll give birth, and it'll be a son or daughter, and you'll be a happy little family.
Thanks for all that. We're gonna go tweet about this now.
Hashtag I got the embryo in me. I'm so glad I met you, Daquan.
Yup it up, babe.